1.2 million people. That is the approximate number of people living in the United States with HIV today. To put it into perspective, take a look at this football stadium. As you can see, there are a couple thousand people in this stadium. Now let's say that all of these people have been recently diagnosed with HIV. It would take approximately 15 football stadiums in order to contain all of the people diagnosed with HIV just in the United States alone. And about 1 in 7 people don't even know that they have the virus. This would be the pink shaded portion of the stadium. HIV is a virus that almost anybody in the world can have. Although it is more prominent in certain groups, one must remember that this can affect everybody. The most common form of contraction is from sexual intercourse. However, there are other ways to contract it. A mom can pass it on to an unborn baby or through the sharing of blood, for example, needles. This is HIV. She's small, cute, and seemingly harmless. However, HIV is a virus whose purpose is to weaken the immune system. But since our immune system is pretty good at fighting off diseases and other abnormalities, it keeps the HIV under control. For some people, this could be a few months, but others, the immune system could keep the virus dormant for many years, which adds on to the lack of symptoms from HIV virus. This is particularly alarming because those who are unaware that they have the HIV virus run the risk of infecting other people without even knowing that they are spreading the HIV virus. Poor Joe. We'll get into the details later, but for now, I'll explain this in a more broader sense. These are your individual cells in your body when HIV has entered. After the virus has entered the body and multiplied itself over and over again, it now has the strength to fight against your immune system and weaken it. Once the HIV virus has accomplished its job, the individual has a very high chance of getting AIDS. This is when the amount of CD4 cells in your body drops from about 1,000 to 200 from all of the deterioration that's happened. At this point, it is incredibly difficult to repair this severely damaged immune system. However, in the time that your immune system was fighting off the virus, you may have felt great and energized, which gave you the illusion of a healthy person. But in reality, your body looked more or so like this guy. Now you may ask, what are the origins of this deathly virus?
A specific group, Europeans, are particularly resistant to HIV. This is because they have a mutation known as CCR5 delta 32. Because of this mutation, CCR5 coreceptor is much smaller than usual, which does not allow HIV to attach. Those who carry this gene are homozygous, meaning that they have inherited a copy from each of the parents and they are essentially immune to HIV. How did Europeans acquire this mutation? Professor Junkin from the University of Liverpool suggested that since the CCR5 delta 32 mutation is restricted to Europe, this suggests that the plagues of the Middle Ages played a role in creating resistance for this specific group. Scientists have suggested that the worldwide eradication of smallpox may have helped in increasing the frequency of HIV incidences. After the eradication of smallpox, there was no need to longer provide immunizations for it. From the 1950s to 70s, smallpox immunizations decreased. Since then, incidences of HIV has increased exponentially. Repeated outbreaks of the bubonic plague may have played a role in having the CCR5 delta 32 mutation. The repeated plague outbreaks killed off about 40% of the European population between 1347 to 1350. After this period, the CCR5 delta 32 mutation could have increased in frequency.
HIV is a retrovirus that does not follow the central dogma. Instead, RNA is transcribed into DNA by reverse transcriptase. HIV gets into the host cell displaying the CD4 molecule and coreceptor through fusion and starts replicating. The CCR5 delta 32 mutation inhibits HIV's ability to enter CD4 immune cells because CCR5 coreceptor is much smaller and found on the interior surface of the individuals immune to HIV receive a copy of the mutated gene from both parents. Those with one copy are not immune but have a lower chance of infection plus delayed development of AIDS. The goal is to stop the infection by preventing HIV from entering cells and replicating. And there is hope with bone marrow gene therapy. Single treatments have the potential to control HIV infection by restoring the damaged immune system. Meet Timothy Ray Brown, the Berlin patient. He was diagnosed with HIV in 1995 and went through 2 rounds of stem cell transplants from an individual with the CCR5 Delta 32 mutation in 2007 and 2008. Brown is now successfully free of readily detectable HIV.